Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you saw my last video, which aired on Wednesday, then you have a pretty good idea of what today's video is going to be, which is I'm going to be making a 1950s style dress in the aesthetic LoveCore. I would like to say I actually had two outfits planned for this, and just work pretty much got in the way and I only got one done, and I am sorry for that. I'm really sorry. I really tried. But hey, I can make that outfit further down the road. I thought it was more important to get the outfit done that used actual heart fabric. So yeah, I really don't have much else to say on this video intro, because I pretty much said everything in Wednesday's video. So let's just jump into it and I won't waste any of your time. Yeah. So here's our fabric. It's very cute. It's pink and has tulips and hearts on it. And this is the McCall's pattern that I'm going with because I couldn't get a hold of an actual vintage pinafore pattern in the amount of time I needed it. And of course we'll need a pink matching zipper. So the only alteration I'm really making to the pattern is I want the sweetheart neckline. So I'm just taking piece one and making that curve at the center front. And pretty much we're just going to cut all the other pieces out as normal. With piece one, I'm going to cut everything out normal first. And since I'm going to use this pattern later, I don't want to cut the pattern with the curve. So I'm just going to lift that slightly and cut it as such. So I've gotten all my pieces cut out that I'm going to need, and yeah, I didn't cut out everything suggested for the pattern because they have those where is it? They have the band pieces that go around the front and the back, and I'm not doing that because I wanted to do sweetheart neckline. So instead what I've done is I've got a lining which I will be using to make my top smooth. So I've got 1, 2, 4, 5, and then of course the skirt piece, which I think is 8. And that's all I'm cutting because I'm also not cutting. The pattern has you cut like a built-in petticoat that's supposed to be made of tulle. And first off, I don't like dresses like that because tulle is so itchy for me on my skin. And secondly, I have a petticoat that is separate that I'm going to be wearing with this, and that's pretty much why I'm also not concerned about getting it poofed up. But pro tip, so for the skirt, I did something very stupid. It is a circle skirt that's been cut into two. So basically I cut 2 half circles. And I should have done that first before I did any of this stuff, which I know better, and I just wasn't thinking. And because of that, I don't quite have a full circle. I have like 90% of a circle, but I think in the long run it will be okay. But yes, if you're doing this pattern, do this first, because then with all the awkward pieces you can cut things like, you know, your straps and stuff like that. So number 4 is actually the back band. I don't know if I'm going to need that or not. We shall see. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and press everything. And I like to start with obviously start with the top and go from there. Okay, so just a quick kind of tip. So I actually went and did my lining first and did all my darts. And the reason I did this is since I'm not doing a mock-up, this is what helped me. I used my lining kind of as my mock-up, and what I learned was that I had to kind of change the dart shape a little bit to get it to fit me appropriately. So now I can use the darts from my lining and match them up with my good fabric, and I don't lose any of my good fabric, because if my lining was totally just terribly improperly sized, I can just redo it. But yes, so I'm going to go ahead and we'll do the first steps, which is putting my darts and my lining fabric in this, and then we'll connect the back to the front at one side because our zipper is going to be in the side. So yeah. So as I said, I'm now just putting in the darts as per the pattern. This is actually the straps, and basically you just sandwich it, sew up there. Then once it's sewn, you press it and base the edges, which you'll gather later. And here I am sewing the right sides together of the bodice, and I realized I skipped the part where I sewed one part of the strap already on. And you're going to need to leave a gap here when you're sewing to feed your strap in at the front so that it's nice and neat. Don't forget to clip where you made your sweetheart neckline. This will help later. And see, there's that gap I left, and I'm just going to gather this side of the strap and feed it into the gap, and then we'll pin it so that the gap folds under on itself so it's nice and smooth, both on the outside and on the lining. It's not actually as hard as it sounds, because when you start stuffing the sleeve in, it just kind of wants to work. And all the hard work is done, so we're just going to attach now the skirt portion to the bodice portion, and then you'll hem it. I added this really cute heart lace to the hem of my skirt because I just thought it really helped add a little bit of flair. Now I want to add a pocket on, and I decided I want my pocket to be heart-shaped. So I cut out from my scrap fabrics basically a heart shape. I cut 2 out and then interfacing. Iron on interfacing, and I'm just going to iron on the one side and sew them right sides together, just leaving a slight gap at one section of the pointed area near the bottom so that I can turn it right side out and finish it sort of like a pillow. Again, clip around the heart area and trim everything. Here's me sewing it shut after I've pressed it. And then I want a button, so I've set my buttonhole to fit my large button, and I just do that, and then we have to sew the button on. And I went with a little cute Cupid button because I thought going with a heart one would just kind of fade it out. And that is it.
My hair's just dying on me. I didn't put enough hairspray in, I guess.
Okay, so final thoughts on the dress. I was a little disappointed in the noticeability of my pocket. Like, I thought it would be better going subtle, and I did think about putting lace around the edges, but now it's just kind of too subtle and not that noticeable. Only the buttons really showing up, but it's whatever. The straps, I thought I got them tight enough, but they, as you can see, they do have a tendency, especially the right side, I guess I'm slopier shouldered on the right, they do have a tendency to just want to slide off. And quite frankly, like, unlike the picture on the pattern, I do not think I could wear this dress without something underneath it. I thought I had it like perfectly sized for me. I was being so careful, but like now I lost like literally just a little bit of weight, and it's like, oh, I'm too big without an undershirt, so whatever. But overall, I was very, very happy with how this turned out. I did wish I could have gotten more than one outfit done, but I got other things to do, unfortunately, like work. Pretty much so, as far as the pattern goes, it was very straightforward, I think. I didn't read but maybe half of the instructions just because I know roughly looking at I just usually use patterns for the pieces. I don't really like need the instructions except in a few parts. I do think it was pretty accurate to some period patterns. Like I said, I could not get a hold of the actual vintage pattern for this pinafore that I wanted to base my dress off of. I think there's only one person selling it, and it's all the way over in Britain, so I would not have made it here in time. But yes, so as always, I hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell, and I will see you guys next time, and happy Valentine's Day. Bye!